Greetings, family. This is Dr. Greg McNeil, coming to you from the surface of the sun here in Tucson, Arizona, on a gorgeous fall day. This is just a fantastic time of the year for me. It's a period of renewal as I approach my Earth Day here coming up in November. And that just brings a subject that's really dear to me, and that's health. And that's what I want to talk to you about. I want to share a journey with you that I've been on for the last 2 months. That's just been fantastic. It's incredible. So to start, let me just say that I have been an athlete essentially all my life. I've been a coach, a performance fitness coach, strength and conditioning coach for the past 30 years, training various types of clients, competing in different types of events. That's just been my life. I feel like I have been blessed with its exceptional movement, just the ability to just move in the body, and I'd like to say just, if I can think it, I'm just moving at will. And I've enjoyed that most of my life. And in the, during the COVID era, right, I noticed that I started to experience some changes. But I refused to think that I was just getting older, but there was really something else going on for me. I knew it had something to do with the nutrition, what was available during those times, and there was a number of dynamics. The point is, I felt there were changes that was happening to my body that I was going to have to struggle to address. And so fast forward from that period until now, what I've done throughout the graduate school period and a journey that many of you have been with me on, I've continued to work with my health. But I had something that was nagging me just a little bit now, right? My movement was somewhat constricted. My psoas muscle on the left side and my right hip, it was tight. I struggled to get it to release, and I felt like it was really impacting my movement, which is to say that it was really impacting my psyche on a certain level. So it was one of those things that I did. I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to deal with this at another time, but take note, this is a change that you're gonna have to address. So I just happened to be moving through YouTube, and I come across some information by Dr. Bobby Price, somebody who I follow, and he was talking about okra water. And I said, okra water? Wow. I'm not sure about that. Because as a young boy growing up, it was just something that I just couldn't deal with. I couldn't deal with the fruit of okra. I didn't really understand it. I didn't like the way it was prepared. Although I did enjoy it fried once, but even then I was like, I'm just not sure about it. But like most things in life that are meant for you, if it is, it will return, right? So yeah, I'm telling a story about my relationship with okra water over the past 2 months. And it does make me chuckle. But yes, so I'm listening to Dr. Bobby Price. He's talking about okra water and, the benefits of it. And I listened and I thought, okay, well, this is worth something for me to investigate. Natural ways are important to me. I am not a guy that takes medication, so I take soursop bitters and okra water. That's it. That's all that goes into my system. Plant-based medicines, that's a different matter. But in terms of what I'm ingesting, I ingest no pills at all. These are the two things that really are moving through this body of mine. So anyway, I continued to listen to his video, and I thought, okay, how do I deal with that texture thing, right? That mucilage. that's gonna kind of like shake me up. I don't know how I'm gonna handle that. And then he says, hey, look, you can take the key lime, right? And there's a difference between the key lime and the regular lime that you see. The key lime is the smaller one. It is the natural fruit, not hybridized. So I said, okay then. So I bought fresh okra the first time. I cut it up into small, like maybe 1/4-inch cubes, about 15 of those. I rinsed them off. I put them in a mason jar, let it sit for over 24 hours. Then I poured it out the next day, added 1 key lime squeezed into it. That was day 1, right? And during day 1, that was the moment I said, am I going to be able to make this happen? It's like, think about it now. It's like, can you deal with that? And then I heard the voice. It was like, yeah, yes, you can. Because you just felt it right away. And even as you felt yourself drinking it and feeling the texture, you now knew what that was. I said, okay. So that was day 1. Day 2, I was eager. I was like, okay, I could do this. And after day 2, there was something that was interesting for me. I noticed I felt kind of cool inside my body. I did. It's like, wow, it was like, I feel kind of cool, and especially like in the scalp, right? Like it was like, something is happening here. But at that point, my subconscious already knew. It was like, dude, this is the journey. So then it was like day 3, day 4. And the next thing I know, I started to know that my appetite would change. Again, I didn't go in to try to make any wholesale changes in my life. I didn't stop doing any of that kind of stuff, right? Because I just wanted to incorporate the okra water. And that's what I did. I keep my life simple so I know what works. Not trying to go on a diet or any of that. Although losing weight is something that did happen, that wasn't the objective. I just want to make sure that's clear. So after the first week, I knew, I was like, wow, I like this. And I could tell that my taste buds changed because there were just certain things that, let's say, I no longer desired. That salt, that sugar, the fat. And I'm talking about things that are carefully controlled anyway within my diet. Although I may like some things, I'm still careful about what I put in. But even at that level, I still noticed a change. But I didn't fight against what I was experiencing. I just kept going. And as a rule, I always document the activities that I engage in. So for those of you who have been following me, you know that I journal. I have my journal that I record for my health, the Tibetan 5 rites that I engage into, the other forms of training that I'm in. And then I have the journal that I write in daily for the things that are important for me in terms of my life and the vision that I want to live out and bring forward. So here again, day 1, day 2, day 3, I just kept going. And the further I went along, I noticed that I continued to just feel better. Somewhere between, let's say, day 15 and maybe day 30, I think things were starting to be a little bit visible. I'd like look at a shirt that I put on and I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't quite fit, or in the sleeve of the arm. But again, I wasn't looking to lose weight. I just wanted to just continue to feel better. Because one of my chief aims is to live a life of great health and longevity. And so because that is a dominant thought for me, I'm not surprised that the information would come to me like it did, or that okra the fruit would return to my life again at this stage when I left it when I was a young boy because I didn't know what to do with it. But that's all right. So around day 30 or so, I'm like, wow, my hands feel different. My arms, my shoulders. Again, I've always been an athletic guy, but somebody who trained. But I can also recognize when I'm not at my peak or not even close. So I'm not accustomed to fabricating something about what I feel capable of doing if it's just not there. And so it's like I could feel it in terms of the proprioception, all around me, the different types of things that I could feel. A little beyond words, you just knew it. I'm moving a little differently. If my dog Odin dashes in front of me or behind me because he wants to play, I could just feel that my body didn't worry about what he did. I didn't have to brace myself for impact or movement. I just simply moved. So after day 30 until now is when I really began to notice that there were some profound things that was happening for me, because some of the constriction that I began to feel in my body during that COVID period, that tightness in my psoas and that type of limitation that was bothering me, I could just feel it just like a breeze that leaves quietly, not without a lot of fanfare. It just left. I remember one day I was walking Odin and Drew, and I could just feel it. And it just brought a smile to my face. It's like, oh, wow, there it is. I mean, really long arms, long legs, a long stride, but just super quick. And there it was. I was moving, and I could not help but to feel that smile come to my face because I could feel the connection, right? And there's that readiness that I feel at any given point in time. The word, I guess, would be responsive. It's like there is no special moment for me. It doesn't matter. I can just move. And today, oddly enough, it's 62. How funny that is, right? That's an interesting number for me on a number of levels, right? Numerology, it's number 8, which is my birth number, right? In a little more than a week, I'll turn 62 on November the 5th. And one of my chief aims when I returned to graduate school was to complete my PhD before my 62nd birthday so that I could spend the rest of my life running around, playing and having fun. And all of that is here. And I wanted to share it with you. Now, am I saying that you should go out and start drinking soursop bitters or okra water? Nope, I'm not. Each of you have your own ideas for your health, wellness, and longevity. And I would expect you to choose those things that work for you, right? But those of you that know me from a coaching perspective, and I mean from the physical point of it, you know that I'm not going to talk about something that I have not participated in or that does not work, right? So What I'm saying about okra water is this. What I've learned in the 62 days that I've drank it is extraordinary. But let me just touch on something that's really important about it, especially for women and for women who may be thinking about having children. So okra is a powerhouse for folate, and folate is essential for DNA production, DNA repair, and another word, methylation, I believe it is, but look it up, right? It's essential. It's a must-have. And 70% or nearly 70% of what they call neural tube deficiencies, such as spina bifida and deficiencies that we see along those lines, can be contributed to decrease folate in the body. So think about that. So if you're a woman, you're in a couple, you all are thinking about having children, think about, investigate natural folate, right? From the the plant itself. I keep wanting to call it a vegetable, but it's not. It's a fruit, right? Okra is a fruit. So if I made the mistake of calling it anything else earlier, let me stand corrected. It is a fruit. And it's enjoyable when you understand what it does. I like it with the key lime because it's just my thing. But I'm a guy that likes to move, live, and breathe without limitation, right? That's my thing. So I share it with you from that perspective. But if you give it a shot, stick with it, because it has amazing benefits, and it'll provide to you the things that I would say are unexpected. It's like no man or woman can know the end of the road that they're walking on. So as you're listening to what I'm saying to you in terms of my self-description, you can think about it, but you cannot have the experience unless you take the journey yourself. This applies to everything that we do in life. The how cannot be known apart from the doing or the action. So whatever your goal is in terms of your health, follow it, right? Whatever you want to learn from it, you're going to find out through the action, through the doing, through the consistency. Again, if it's important to you, investigate and stick with it. I wanted to share this with you because it just brings me a lot of joy, right? Because of what I'm able to do and what I feel like I'm going to continue to be able to do at a high level as I sit here and laugh out loud as I'm talking to you. Absolutely. Think about it. Health, that's really where it's at, right? So the link for Dr. Bobby Price and his YouTube page will be in the description. I would say again, check out what he has to say about okra water. If you have not investigated it, give it a shot. Stick with it and notice what happened 1 week at a time. I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.